And with that, we go to the hotline. We're joined by the GOAT, the legend, Mike Evans here on TexAgs Radio. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming on the program. Let's talk a little bit about the event, how it kind of came together and your vision for it.
Well, it was Courtney Foss's idea. She runs my foundation. She's a Texas A&M Aggie as well. Met her at Texas A&M. She was in the Bright Complex helping everybody, pass their sports management classes. She's a really brilliant mind, but yeah, she runs the foundation, and it was her idea. I didn't even know, we had that facility, out there in College Station, but I'm excited to go there and have a great event in April.
Well, and just talk to me a little bit about the why behind it, because you've always had this like giving heart, but for kids in particular and scholarships, why that angle?
I think college is important. It's very important, especially if you come from a small area. Like I came from a small area, I got to experience a lot. People from different cultures and backgrounds and things like that. And I have relationships from college that I'll always have for the rest of my life. So, I met my wife in college. So I think college is very important, and not everybody has the means to go. So, if you're working hard, I think you should get a little help.
How much did A&M mold you? Not only just the education, but just the people, the culture, and what you've taken with you to Tampa.
I mean, it's been everything. They obviously helped me become a better player. Football wise, the fan base was, the best I've ever experienced. Helped me become a man. Had a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of great relationships and people that I've met that helped me get to this point in my life and help shape who I am today. So I'll always be appreciative of Texas A&M University. And every time I go back, it's always love. So, it's a great place.
When's the last time you were here?
I was there recently, but just in and out. Like it wasn't, I wasn't there long because my wife's grandmother stays in Hearn, and then we drove through, had some fuego, and things like that. But I went to the game last year.
Oh, that's right.
I went to a game last year. Yeah.
The reason I ask is because I've been here back again this time 3 years, but every time I come here, and then when people come to visit, like, dude, that's not the same place that it was 5 years ago, not the same place it was 10 years ago. How different? I mean, it's still Aggieland, right? But it's just like bigger.
No, I like it. I mean, it needs more cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people in Aggieland. The city's growing, and that's a beautiful thing to see.
So obviously you're so busy during the season, but are you able to pay attention to stuff happening here with Coach Elko and some of the changes here? We just got a brand new athletic director.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. So, I mean, I try my best, but it's a lot going on, especially as you get older, more children, things like that, more things in your career. But I'll always shout out to Aggie men's basketball and the women's basketball for making it. We made it, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Because some things you see on social media, you got to confirm. But yeah, shout out to the men's and women's side.
Hey, I know the relationship you have with Johnny, and just curious if you were able to see his comments about you, and almost like tearful when he talked about you on the Shannon Sharp podcast. Look, you guys talk all the time, so I'm sure you know what he thinks of you and vice versa. But just thoughts on your relationship there.
Me and him have always had a great relationship. I have high praise for him. He has high praise for me. One of the best college duos ever. I had a lot of fun playing with that guy, man. He definitely helped me get to where I'm at as well. One of the best players I've ever played with by far.
So if I know you're too busy to check out the premium boards here on TexAgs.com, but anytime you come up,
I used to when I was in high school and college. Yeah, I used to want to see what the Aggies had to say.
Well, we are an interesting fan base. We love our players and our teams, but anytime they talk about you, they talk about how I kind of led into the interview. Hall of Fame, GOAT, and you're still doing it at the highest level, man. How do you keep your body, your mind, all that like you're 25 years old?
Oh, I've been blessed. I mean, with health, God has truly blessed me with health throughout my career. I've had a lot of great veterans around me to help me learn the process of taking care of your body and how important it is. And today's era, I mean, the medicine we have, the trainers, the knowledge, the science behind everything, it's definitely helped me as well. So, and I'm super competitive, man. I want to be doing this for as long as my body holds up, and I just love the game.
Do you think about Kenton? I mean, is that, or do you not allow yourself to go there yet?
Earlier, midway through my career, year 5, 6 is when I kind of start to, all right, I need to lock in because the Hall of Fame is something every player wants to reach in any sport you play. If you're at that level and it's something attainable, you want to try to get that. So absolutely, I think about it, um, and I focus on it mainly just by doing what I do best, and that's just working hard and playing my game.
When you were growing up, was it Andre Johnson? Who was the kind of like the receiver you looked at like, yeah, that's kind of what I want to be?
Well, Randy Moss is probably the most popular, so I watched him when I was younger. Peyton Manning was my favorite player, and the Colts were my favorite team, so I watched those receivers: Marvin Harrison, Brandon Stokely, Reggie Wayne, even Dallas Clark at tight end, all those guys. But Randy Moss is always my favorite because
Yeah,
he
no.
had a verb named after him. You catch the ball over top of somebody's head, you mossed them. So I always loved that. And he wore Jordans, so he was definitely my favorite receiver growing up.
All right, you said the Jordans. You a Jordan guy or a LeBron guy?
I'm both.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're asking me who I think is a better basketball player, I think LeBron's the best athlete of all time. You talk about me keeping it up for 10 years playing football. I mean, he's first off, he can probably play any sport if he really wanted to. And just his size, his mindset, his durability, his versatility, I think he's the best player, best athlete we've ever seen.
I remember, I don't know, about a month ago, we were talking about you on the show, and I was like, look, my heart wants him to go to the Texans because I'm from Houston, and I think it'd be cool. But I also said, I think it would be awesome to see him spend his entire career in one place and be a legend at that place. And you made that decision. You wanted to stay in Tampa. Take me through that thought process.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a free agent before. And I was about to be one, but before the period, the Bucks and I were able to reach a deal. I just felt like it was a win-win situation for me, honestly. Um, like going home, that would have been cool. I'm from Galveston, played at A&M. Houston's right in the middle of that. Everybody wanted me to play in Houston, or they wanted me to play with the Chiefs or something like that. But I just knew that at the end of the day, I was gonna go back to Tampa.
That's
I
awesome,
just
man.
I just felt it. I mean, it would have been cool to be a free agent and see what other teams had to offer and get all the love and things like that. But Tampa has shown me plenty of love, and it's a place I want to be for the rest of my career.
Yeah, I think it is awesome. What about the chemistry you developed with Baker last year?
Man, Baker, man, he surprised me a lot with not his game. I knew he was a really good player. Just how he is as a leader and a teammate. He really surprised me a lot. He's similar to Johnny, his playing style. I mean, really similar. So it was easy to adjust to play with him. A little shorter quarterback, great athlete. Those like a baseball player, like really tight spiral, really good arm, improvise. You can do all those things. Super tough. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do this year.
Is there an all-time favorite memory of Aggieland that you have on the field, off the field?
There's too many. I
Yeah.
mean, there's too many. Obviously, we beat Bama. People are going to talk about that forever. And that's when Bama was really Alabama. Like, I mean, they're still, really good, but this is when they were head and shoulders above everybody else for a while, and we beat them. And the 2012 season as a whole was probably my favorite year. I was better the next year. Our offense was probably better the next year, but our team in 2012 was really great, truly underrated team.
Well, I want to ask you about one player on that team that we haven't brought up, Ryan Swope. He comes on this show all the time. Just your relationship with Ryan.
Texting him right now.
Yeah?
We're texting right now. Me, him, and Travis Labhart. We're
Oh,
texting right now about the George Strait concert in College Station.
any
I
chance we
think
get you to go?
it's June 15th. I mean, I'm not a huge country fan. I like all types of music. I like some country. I'm more of a hip hop R&B guy. But I definitely want to go. If I'm available and I'm free, I want to go. So text him back and see if me, Swope, and Lab can get up to the George Strait concert. That'd be awesome.
Well, let's talk a little bit about him, like what he taught you, what you saw from him, his work ethic, and what you learned from Ryan.
I mean, that's my big bro for life. Like I said, I've made relationships with, not just players, but people on the staff, students, people in the learning center. Like Aggieland was such a great, wholesome place, genuine people. Ryan Swope is arguably the best receiver in A&M history, career-wise of what he did. I mean, super tough. I learned so much from him. Resilience, humble. I mean, he scored 4 touchdowns against Baylor, 200 yards, and just I just wants to drink a beer. That's it. Like doesn't want any recognition or anything. He was a normal guy. You know, I learned that side of him, like just to be humble, you know, when even though you're a great player and, you know, the fans love you, just always remain humble. And I learned that from him, and I learned to work my ass off because of him.
Mike, last thing for you, the big event coming up here on April 27th. How's your golf game?
Terrible. I'm terrible, man. I'm terrible. I'm a true all-around athlete, but golf is one thing that I haven't spent much time with. I always do a golf event, but I never really play. That's one sport I'm going to have to probably get into when I'm a little bit older.
Well, hopefully you get Ryan to go out there because I know he likes to play some golf. He'll be there hopefully for the 27th.
I play golf with them. Yeah, they'll be there.
Mike, man, I appreciate your time. One of my favorite athletes of all time. And honestly, it didn't matter where you went to school. I just love the way you play the game with your passion. But obviously, you being an Aggie just puts a special place in my heart, man. Thanks so much for making time.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that.
There he is. Gig 'em. The GOAT right there, Mike Evans. What a dude. All right, the Mike Evans Foundation event is going to return to Aggieland April the 27th, and it's the Tee-Off Bash. Join him at Big Shots Golf for a great night. There'll be golf, games, food, drinks, and other family-friendly activities. Visit MikeEvansFamilyFoundation.org or text Tee-Off Bash to 76278 to purchase your tickets today. All right, we'll be back more on TexAgs Radio.
Your home for Aggie softball.